Welcome back to the second ever episode of Bulls, Bears, and Beers. I'm your host, Will. Tonight we're going to go over I'm going to go over some more charting, support, and resistance. I'm going to kind of recap some of the plays that I was in today, as well as look at look at some stocks just in general, and go over essentially a part two of the of the charting with the support and resistance, and how crucial it is, for your trading, your day-to-day trading, whether you're a commons, like a common share trader, or you're an options trader like myself. Everybody can use these levels to really help improve exactly what they do. I kind of want to start with a lot of people that trade, it's you have a good day or a bad day, right? It's very rare. It's just like you had a meh day. Like, meh, I didn't really do, too good. Well, it's not that you're a bad trader, it's you have trouble with your entries and your exits. That's it in a nutshell. 9 times out of 10, you've probably picked the right play. You're probably kicking yourself because when it's all said and done, you look back and you say, "Oh my God, I sold for $100 and it ran all the way to $1,000." Or I took, I cut my stop and I took a loss. Whatever the case may be, it all boils down to your entries and your exits. That's it in a nutshell. And you need to really you really need to have a trading plan when you go into the day or the week, or however you choose to trade. Because like I said yesterday's episode, trading blindly is just, it's not the way to go. Now, you may get up every day and say, "Hey, here's a handful of stocks that these are the ones I'm gonna eyeball. If they look good, I'm rolling in it." Well, that's fine to a degree if you know how you want to enter it and how you want to exit it. If you trade with indicators, if you trade with the charts, it's a whole hell of a lot better than going in blindly and just saying, "Well, green, 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 red. Oh, what do I do?" Um, that's never helped anybody, and that's where you lose your butt off. And so yeah, like I said, if you're watching this video, you're a good trader. You just may be having trouble with entries and exits, and you want to get a little bit better. So hey, you want to get a little bit more knowledge, with the support and the resistance. Like I said yesterday, the name of the show is Bulls, Bears, and Beers, because whenever you get bear in this market, you got to have a beer. So as with every episode, I will be drinking a beer or two. Today's choice is Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends. So without further ado, had some feedback from one of my longtime subscribers. I just want to thank him for reaching out and wanting to go over one of the charts. So we're going to look at Apple first, and Apple is not a stock that I traded today. Unfortunately, it is one where I was showing everybody yesterday. I've got my watch list. I mean, it certainly is one that I have here on my main watch, as you can see. So it's definitely one that's on my radar, more often than not. I think it's on everybody's radar as much volume that rolls through it, but it's neither here nor there. So what I want to start with, we went over yesterday. We really want to start at the weekly. We're going to go up here. We're going to go to our drawings. We're going to find our horizontal line. We're going to go ahead and start with some support. And like I said, I like to effectively scroll out. Ignore that line for now. We'll readjust it. I like to roll out, and when I'm scrolling out, then we're going to drag our line up until we can get pretty much the most amount of touches. Where is this? Well, there's really no sense to come all the way down here unless you're just wanting to chart every single level out. I mean, here's the stock up here. This is where it's trading at now. So I just need somewhere in this range to effectively really keep me in the game, where I know where everything's gonna kind of play at. So what I'm looking for right now, I'm looking to find an area, whether it be an area of resistance or an area of support to start with, but I want to find an area where I can get the most amount of touches. And it looks like I've got one right here. We've got a little price resistance, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touches. And then if you notice, we get very bullish and we break through. And this old resistance has now become new support. So we have a level of resistance support here. So that's one. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look for another one. And like I said, the dark blue for me, those are my if you watched yesterday's episode, those are my weekly levels. That's my major weekly level. It's my confirmations for, on my weekly. So here I'm going to come over, kind of look at the same thing. I'm looking to go probably, let's see if we can, this is going to drop another line. Just drag it out best we can. Really want to see. All right, let's come up. All right, so we've really got 1 touch there and then a breakthrough. If we come up here, now this right here, it's resisting. We have support, we have support, we have support, but we're kind of left out in the cold up here. And again, we can get back to this, but I'm really wanting to fill these gaps up underneath here. So let's just keep kind of going up just a little bit, right? And I am going to probably drop. I'm going to drop a line, most likely right here. All right, let me find my mouse. I told you I'm using an external monitor on the screen share, and sometimes when I'm trying to go back and forth from my laptop, yeah, right now my mouse is lost in translation. There we go. Ta-da! I don't even know why that's just sitting there on the screen. That's odd. Anyway, so what my thought process is here on the weekly, and kind of bump it up just a hair. We've got a few weeks here where we've got some support. We've got about a week here where we've got some resistance. We did have a breakthrough. We got a little support here, pretty much a breakthrough. We're going to have some resistance, some support. We've got resistance here. We've got price resistance over here, and then we've got support over here. So right now I'm comfortable with, this is a level of, this is a pretty good level. So what I'm going to do, so I'm going to come here and I'll lock that down. Take this one and I'll lock it down. And then, yeah, might as well come over here, because you're looking now at what once we broke through this major level, there's been 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 5th week of the 150 level. Let's hit that. Bam. Now, if you watched yesterday's episode, I now like to back up. Now I'm going to go down to the daily. Same thing. Then after we do this, we're effectively going to see how these levels played out in today's trading day. Let's kind of do this. Just a hair. There we go. All right, so let's drop this down where we can kind of see more of these candles. And yes, I'm going to change the colors because I like to do light blue. But what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a breakthrough. And we hit a level of resistance and we pull back. That same level of resistance, and we go through ever so slightly. We resist this level, breakthrough, can't get over 150. We pull back, come up. So I'm just, for the sake of this, we can always change it. I'm going to just drop a line here at about the 146 and change level for now. And I am going to change it light blue because that's the color that I'm going to want. So let's just look at this real quick. We'll come up, we got some resistance. We barely pulled through it, but as you know, This isn't where the red candles close. The red candles open, they effectively go down. So we've closed under this price point on the day. Same thing here. We flagged, we got a little stem over it. We closed under it. So I'm fine right here currently looking at this level of resistance. Bam, we broke through for a little while when we were testing 150. We're supporting, we're back under. We break through right here with the stems, but we sit under it. We sit under it. Now we have a day of breakthrough. Now we're above it. Now it's support, it's support, it's support. And then what do you know? We're back under it again. The candle never can close, or the candle never can, it can never close above. Yes, it's flagged, but we're below it, we're below it, we're below it. We ever so slightly. We opened, but we closed below. The following day we opened, we closed above, and now we're resting back on some support. So I'm comfortable right now with this level. Lock it. All right. And then I'll probably just pop one more. That way I don't have a massive gap from 146 to 137, basically a $10 level with, you know, nothing in between. So this level of support and resistance, I'm also going to be looking for another, where do these pullbacks occur? Where are they happening? So if you notice, we've resisted, we pull back. So just for the sake, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop it here. Bam. Change it, light blue, lock it. And as you can see, we resisted, we broke through, we pulled back, now it's support. We resisted, 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 broke through, bam, pull back. And here we are back on the daily level. We've come up, we resisted, resisted. It's a breakthrough day. Support, support, still support. Now we're back again on this level. Now, these levels, you are more than welcome to break it down on the 1 hour, the 30 minute, the 5 minute, because let's be honest, there's a lot going on. While this is essentially resting on this, it went to test it, but it didn't. I mean, we could find support, you know, pretty much, you know, you could find support and resistance effectively anywhere. I mean, that's what's happening every time a candle is forming. It's supporting at a level and it's resisting the next level. And then the next minute we open one up, or the next day or whatever it is, and it's doing the same thing every single time. So let's just kind of break it down now, see if we've missed anything. Let's just kind of see how the whole thing looks. And we're back on the mouse thing again. Here we go. All right. I wish there was a quicker way of doing this. I mean, I could hit the minimize button, but it's so slow. I could zoom out, but that doesn't really do any good, because at the end of the day, I still have to scroll these numerical levels down over here, and it's just, I just wish there was a way I could say boom, overdone super fast. All right, here we go. Now we're rocking and rolling on the 1 hour. So we've charted all of our daily and our days and our week resistance, but check this out on the 1 hour. You can even go out as far as the 4 hour. But if we even want to get, you know, more in depth, more technical, and really chart out some more plays, I mean, look at this right here, you know, from 8/3 to, you know, through today. I mean, we're effectively resisting the 148 level all day. And if you slide over 723, 722, it's resisted it all day. And from 723 to this nasty kill candle on 727, you know, it supported itself there all day, or all those days. And so we could really spend a lot of time. And you know, I don't want to really beat a dead horse to death. You know, if you're still having issues with the charting, you know, definitely leave a question on the YouTube channel. Let me know. If you're interested in trading and you want to get better at trading, I have a link on the YouTube channel to where you can open a cash account on Webull, get yourself some free stocks, get rolling with that. I'm here, I'll answer questions as often as I can, be more than happy to, to chart some stuff out. So anyway, after all this is said and done, now let's break this bad boy down. So I feel pretty good. We might be looking at this now because I haven't looked at this. I haven't traded Apple I haven't traded Apple this week. And I deleted all the levels before I did this. Before I did this video, I don't have them memorized. So I may be looking at this kind of blind and thinking like, hey, I probably do need to add a couple of more support and resistance levels. And obviously it wouldn't necessarily be me doing them for today. It would just be the overall gist of things to see how they were essentially affected by trading today. So anyway, so let's kind of kick it back. Let's go back a couple of days, I guess. Just go back a couple of days and then we'll look at today. I just want to kind of get a feel for, what the day was when we were ramping up at that 150 mark. So here we are at 7:30. All right, so we've pretty much got just a bunch of sideways days. All right. So anyway, so if you notice, I'm just kind of talk through 7:30, right out of the gate, bam, get a real good candle. We dip back. We're running up this old level of support. It's now turning into some resistance. We resist it just ever so slightly. And what happens? Bam, we run along top of it. Now we're supporting it. We do lose it just a hair as we head into the after hours. And then what happens the next day in pre-market? We essentially gap up. We're still running along, the support channel. We open, boom, there's a flush out. There's a flush out. That right there. There's a lot of people get kind of sidetracked with a lot of these big growth stocks. And Apple's a great company. A lot of people might think, oh my God, something's wrong with the company. What's going on? There's nothing wrong with the company. You just had a run up to $150. There's a lot of people that are in it from the COVID era. I mean, I have sold my shares of Apple maybe earlier this year. Apple had the run up last year. They split. I missed it in the 90s, but I landed Apple for around 110 a share, somewhere in that ballpark range. 108 to 110, somewhere in that ballpark range. And I loaded up on some Apple, and I sat on it. I rode those shares all the way up till $142 mark, and that did not happen, in a day. That was a couple of months of holding. It run all the way up, $142, and that was the big, the next big dump off. And then the next leg up, here we are at the 150s. And this is just, it's a continuation. It's going to be the same pattern. So the unfortunate thing is for the ones that are buying at the all-time highs, at some point, 150 is going to seem like a steal. But, if you go and you buy a bunch of stuff at 150 and then now you're sitting on it at 138, you're upside down. And you're going to be upside down for a little while. So here we are. The looks like Monday. We dipped below our support. It's acting as resistance now. We never really can get through. Pretty much resisted all day till about lunchtime. Turns back into support, and as you can see, we're just essentially walking that line. We have a little bit of a pullback after hours. Pre-market hits. There's a gap up here in pre-market, as you can see, 145 to 146. We pull back and we're resisting that level. And then what happened? Yesterday, the bulls show up. Bam, run it up. Healthy pullback. Little up, healthy pullback. Here we are, we've resisted it again. We've pretty much resisted it just about all day, and then gets to be lunchtime, and then boom, the bulls are back. And they run this bad boy up into the 148 level. And as you can see right here, from 1211 to 114, we resisted the 148 level, you know, pretty nicely. A little bit of pullback, and then here we are, we're rolling into today. But the point I'm trying to get home with all these levels and everything, these are great tools to use for entries and exits. Now, I'm an options trader. I love to play the open if we can get the right candles. Not a big fan of this indecisiveness as you're seeing right here. You know, with these long stems, it's just not, that's not for me. This right here just shows a lot of confusion in the market at the beginning. We don't know if we're going to flush. We don't know if we're going to buy. And effectively, we come out, bam, we find a floor, 146. And what happens? Just like Rage Against Machine says, bulls on parade. And here they go. Boom, bulls are in. They run it up to almost the 148 level. If you remember back from the previous day, we were resisting 148. So based on that, let's go back really quick. Let's go back to the 1 hour real fast. And like I told y'all when I was doing all this, I deleted all my levels where I could chart everything out for you guys. But based on the price action that we saw yesterday, not today, essentially at that 148 level, that's probably going to be, where are we at? I'm not even in the stratosphere of where I need to be. Here we are. Boom. Okay, let's shrink this down. See it better. Understand how it's just jumbled up. All right, almost cooking with grease. And then what do we have here? Oh, you know, no. Levels look good. Levels look fine. So we're good. We're good. Let's go back to the 1 minute then. All right. So let's finish this up on Apple. Let's show how we could have traded. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you know I like to use VWAP. You know I like to use the Bollinger Bands. Right now, we're just solely talking about support and resistance. So if you're looking at today, I'm about to put it all into play though. You're looking at today, we shot out of open, indecisiveness. We had this choppy action right here. We find a little floor, and then what happens? We run up, healthy pullback, run up, dip, dip, back down, dip. So as I said yesterday, I'm going to say it again now. I said it a little while ago. Every single candle. So this is effectively like, this might not be a trend line, you know, where you can just plot a line and say, okay, it's the stock's running from here to here. But these are little trends right here. Essentially, every one of these candles is telling us something. You know, you might say, well, yeah, of course, the price is going up, price is going down. Well, kind of. I mean, yeah, that's the obvious, but I love to chart. And if you are an options trader, you know as well as I know, time is of the essence. I'm probably through 2 or 3 trades in the first 10, 11, 12 minutes of market open, made bank on the day, and it's over and done with, just like that. You know, if you're one that likes to sit on stuff all day, so be it. But I'm a look for the setup, find the candle, you know, and if this were to have been the setup, you know, at open, I'm watching this bullish green candle. I would have bought at open if that would have been the case. 8:30, I'm riding this up. As soon as I get to this level, I'm out. I'm not even going to sit and try to scalp another play. That's it. I'm out. I've hit resistance now. Could it blow through? Absolutely. This could have blown through, had a healthy pullback, and just kept going. Could have rocketed on up. But guess what? A level right here on options on some calls from a 146 to this 147, this dollar move's probably getting you 25, 35, or yeah, 25 to $30 on some premiums per contract. And you know, if you load up on 30 contracts, guess what? You know, it's a $900 day in what? 9 minutes. So yeah, too good to pass up. However, chart this stuff. I'm telling you, chart this stuff as it's happening. Don't be too proud. Here you got a daily level, a weekly level. Bam. This is today. None of this has happened yet. It opens, right? You've got 2 candles right here, right off the bat. You're assuming right off the bat, okay, well, I guess I've got a low. I don't know. Let's just take it. Let's just plot it just for the heck of it, right? I'm gonna tick and tie this a completely different color so we're not confused with everything else. So now, right off of open on the 1 minute, I've got support, got support, got support. Bam, what happened? We just resisted the major level. And what hits next? Kill candle. We hit this couple of minute that we had of support and we dipped below it. We dipped below it. Now we're below it. Now this old support is resistance. Here, these right here are essentially saying, hey, now we've got a whole nother low. Why not plot another line right there? These are your charts. This is what you're trading with. There's nobody's going to look at you and be like, oh my God, why are you doing all this? Well, you know what? Guess what? This is for you. This is a tool for you. It's going to make you better. So now you've got the idea, okay, we're supporting. And then what happens? We start going up, we start going up, we start going up. You're probably going to ask yourself, well, how would I have known to enter this play? Well, quite honestly, right here, just based solely on these 2 lines in the first 10 minutes of the market opening, we're supporting. Now this one is turned into resistance, right? And this is support. As soon as we have now hit resistance and we have pulled through, we're likely going to have a continuation up. This candle right here closing above this level of resistance on the intraday 1 minute, this right here would have been an indicator. If you were only doing these charts like this would have been an indicator. Get into this play right now at the 147 level. You would have rode it up. You would have gotten some open and close action here. This would have been a nerve-wracking candle, I'm sure, because if you're an options trader, your premiums are going to just do this. Boom, 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 boom. However, guess what? Where did you enter? You entered here. So there's no need to exit this trade this fast right there. You bought here, you should be okay leaving here. And then what happens? The very next minute, we get another green candle. And again, like I said, if you would like to say, hey, I'm going to chart another line. All right, let's do that. Where does this red one? Just so happens where this red one is supported. Guess what? Your breakthrough candle right here, it's now resisting. Your next one is support. And what happens? It's bounced, but it's heading directly towards your major level. This is your indicator. Get your butt out of the trade now. Now, at the same time, you might say, well, you know, it's not that big of a deal. If you're trading options, if you're trading premiums, you take it, you cut it. Now you might be a risk taker and say, well, why would I cut here? It might continue up. Yeah, I mean, it might. You're very well, it might. if I'm in here, because like I just told you, if you came in here, you should be happy leaving here, correct? Yes. However, if I've already made this much of a move, I'm locking profits. That is the number one thing that I see, that I talk to from anybody trading, is they're not locking profits. They're not locking profits. Get yourself a cash account on Webull, go to my link, sign up, get it over and done with. As long as you have the cash in your account, you have unlimited day trades. I might trade 30 times a day, every single day. Yes, because guess what? I have the cash in the account to cover every one of my transactions. It's just, it is what it is. But let's say you would have been a risk taker and, oh, I'm not going to. Well, guess what? You buy here, you ride up, you get a pullback. You go back up, you get another pullback. You go back up and you're still saying, well, here I am. Then what happens? It bounces all the way back down. Now you're pretty much back to where you bought in at, right? Goes back up. Now this red candle's right back to where you bought in at. Now you're upside down because you've now set in this trade entirely too long. You know, you can't be one of these people that are looking for the 1,000% trades. I mean, are they realistic? Do they happen? Yeah, most of them, you see it every single day. But guess what happens? You're not dealing with plays like this either. They pretty much just take off and they run. They're not necessarily being this choppy. I mean, look at this right off the bat. What did Apple do? Apple formed the M. You know what that means? They about to take your money if you don't cash it out. That's what that M stands for, money. Right here. You don't even want to see the M. You take your money. You don't let them form their M. As soon as that M forms, bam, you're out of money. That's exactly what that means, right? No, it's not. But anyway, I just want to throw a couple of other things in here really, really quick before we move on. Just to wrap this up, let's throw some stuff in here that I like to trade with. This is probably how I would have charted this morning to enter my play. But again, these major resistance levels, could it have gone up? Yeah, absolutely. It could have. And, you know, it is what it is. Could have got another $3 move up to the 150 level. Not likely. You could have, but you know what happened? We pulled back. So I'm going to go throw on the indicators that I like to trade with. I'm going to start with the Bollinger Band. And what did I tell you yesterday? It's coming down. We're tight. We're tight. We're tight. We're tight. We're coming here to open. And then what happens? We open just little. We get a crinkle here, a crinkle here. And what happens? Our rubber band, it spits. But when it crinkles, where's our candle? It's on the bottom side of the moving average. So yes, this went up, which you know, you might say, we said if it's on the bottom side, it's going to go down. Well, you're correct. Right. Let me check. Okay. So I just lied to you. I'm sorry. I need to take, I've got too much yellow going on. I think that's my problem. Let's change these intradays to purple where my eyes can see them just a little bit better. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, now I can distinguish all this stuff a little bit better. Okay, so let's go through that one more time. We're coming through. Here's the midline. It's the moving average. We're just ever so slightly on top of the moving average. And what happens? Bam, we shoot up. We're above the average. We go up. But what did I tell you yesterday? As soon as you pull out of the bands, it's inevitable. You will immediately get a pullback. It's just a correction. It has to trade within the bands. There's no other way around it. Because what happens? It goes out, boom, kill candle, and we're back in, right? Yeah. And then what happens here? It's the same thing. This kill candle throws us right underneath the average. And if you notice, now we're using everything collectively. Comes down to this level. You just popped this line because you're keeping up with this every day, or you're keeping up with this, you know, every time you have a candle formed. This one rest on it again. This one rest on it again. Now we're coming up. And then what happens? Here we're testing the average. And if I can get these charts right, there it goes. And we break through. I gotta minimize this. Here it goes. Boom, there we go. We break through the moving average, we come up and we roll all the way up to our major level. Now, again, like I told y'all in yesterday's video, you could effectively rode this back to the moving average and hope for a pop. And you did lose it a little bit, but you got another pop. Essentially, you could have maybe not sold here. I would have sold here because it's that major level. But if you're feeling gutsy, you've already got this level drawn, you're in it here, bam, you pull back to here. You've wiped out gains at this point, but maybe it's going to go back up. What happens? It retests again. And it retests right back to the same level of the 147.79. And it pulls back again. At that point, that's telling me, hey, we're peaking right now. Get out of the trade. Get out of the trade. And, you know, I told you if you come out of the Bollinger Bands, it's a great way to scalp. You can make a run down. But what happens here? You get up here to resistance. When you start resisting something, what's that a great time to do? Buy puts, right? Yes, absolutely. We had a pullback here. There's a very good chance when we hit resistance, you're going to get another pullback. And what happens? You come here, it resists. This next candle forms. It flagged all the way to here. This red candle right here would have been a great spot to load up on puts. And what happens? The next one forms and it's a little lower and a little lower. And now here's the moving average. You're below the average, below the average, below it, below it. Now you're touching the bottom band. And just the inverse of when you're going up and you get your healthy pullback, you get a little bit of buying room, a little bit of breathing for the bulls. And then what happens? More selling. Bam. You could have rode this right here for $1.10 if you would have bought on this candle at this resistance level, all from this. And another thing to do, if you want to go in, you're going to throw VWAP into the whole thing, you know, make it even more complicated, you know, or, you know, just more technical. You know, here we are, we come through, we're below VWAP. We've broken through, bam, we're up. We've retested VWAP. Get out of your trade, you're at resistance. What happens? We retest VWAP. And like I told you, if you bounce off of VWAP, great. You almost get to this level here. You're resisting it. You got a good solid area. You wouldn't have these gains. You'd still have some gains. But this resistance here, this resistance here, this is where it starts getting a little bit unnerving because now you're kind of thinking like, all right, it's going to be rare that we're going to break through. And, you know, comes back, you lose your moving average, you lose VWAP. Now you're below. You fortunately get another run up, and then that's it. You know, that's it for a while. This right here is a move. When I say there's a 1,000% play, you know, every single day, you know, but it's usually something that's going to run. It's not going to just bounce like this. This resistance level, if you would have bought on this candle, if you would have bought puts, you would have bought to here, you would have tested VWAP. Here's your cost. Profits, you lose a little profits. Test VWAP, reject, more profits. You've already charted this line. You resist it, then you get the bottom band. You make another run up to VWAP, reject it, pull back. Notice these. They flag it, they don't pass it. They flag it, they don't pass it. This one's on VWAP. You're still effectively rejecting it. And then what happens? Kill, kill, kill. You could have stayed in this trade just by using VWAP in the middle Bollinger Band. And this would have been a play you could have got in at the 147.60-ish. You could have gotten filled and rode this bad boy all the way down here, you know, to the 146 level, you know, a whole dollar. over the course of what, hour and a half. I mean, that's good money, guys. That's really, really good money. But like I said, you're probably going, well, how would I have known to exit here at the bottom and not not continue to stay with it? Well, like I said, that's every trader's biggest problem, is not knowing when to take profits and not knowing when to would you rather have $5,000 or $1,000? Well, you'd rather have, $5,000. Would you rather have $50 or $100? Of course, you're going to rather have $100. Would you rather have $100, or would you rather be dumb enough to stay in the trade till it rides back up here and realize you should cut bait and have $12? This is a great area. You would have wrote it all the way back down to here. And what do we have just below it? We will even come here. Bam, red candle. And if you're charting this at each level, as it drops here, 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 the next level down is a major level. Am I right? I mean, you've walked the dog all the way down each one of these levels. Boom. There's nowhere to go but here. And so what's going to happen the next time? You're either going to keep going down, or what do? You buy puts at resistance, you buy calls at support. Does it always work? I mean, if you're going in blind, yeah, it's probably not going to work. But right here, we stop. We're supporting, we're supporting, we're supporting, we're supporting. We're supporting for a solid 10 minutes. We come up, we test the top band, probably still have not entered this trade yet. We come up, that's still the support level, right? And then we get this very bullish candle right here that runs immediately up over the moving average. This would have been a great spot right here off of this support level. When you see this big bullish candle right here, even if you get filled at the top, what would have happened? It buys, healthy pullback, buy, healthy pullback, buy, healthy pullback. And it's another play that you're literally running all the way up. You're running it up. There's that dark line. If you're going to say, well, yep, we're going to roll with VWAP now. It's bouncing off of VWAP. When do you have to exit the trade? Now we're coming up and we're testing the 147.60 level. Bam. We're going to go ahead and start slapping resistance levels up top. And what are we seeing right here? Resisting, resisting. Now you're going to move it up just a little because it does go up. What's the next level up? It's a friggin' major level on the weekly. Sell. Get out of your calls. Take your money. It's over and done. And guess what? If you want to double dip, what did I tell you? You take this, you sell, you immediately put in a daggum put option. Why? Because you're testing a major level. This is where you're going to want to buy your your puts at. And when you're talking an 8-cent move, I mean, you're there. You're at resistance. And what happens? It drops. Bam, bam. As soon as you hit this moving level or this moving average and we dip, you're entering your puts here. And you're riding these bad boys to put city. You're up here. Enjoy VWAP. You get your pullback. Me personally, I'm probably riding it all the way here. I'm going to let it reject VWAP. Going to let it test these bands. At some point, you got to have a stop out. You can't just sit in it. You can't sit in it blind. I can't honestly tell you that I'm going to ride this here and here, and then, oh yeah, I know it's all we're going to. No, probably not. For me, I'm taking this move here. It's going to go up and test. It's pulled back now. So I know I'm under the moving average. As soon as it breaks through this moving average, I'm probably exiting the trade right here. Now, did I lose profits from this low? A little bit, but I bought in up here to here. I'm happy with it. Happy with it. Take your money. Take your money and go on. So anyway, so that's how Apple played out today. You know, when you look at this, it's a really nice, ungodly, strong growth stock. And yeah, it's screaming all day long. We're heading to the you know, 150 plus level. And let's look just for a second. Let's go here. All right, bear with me a second. My chart is acting up because I've got, oh, there we go. Get that out of the way. Perfect. Let's delete all this, right? Let's take off my indicators. Take off Bollinger's, VWAPs, get all that crap off there. Let's see if we can get an idea of the, see if we can get the idea of some fib levels. All this is already built in. So we're not looking at right here. Let's go to the previous high. This candle here shows a high of 145.09. Pretty close there. Let's come back because we're not going to go this way. You're going to go to the most recent lows that's associated with the high. It's going to be right here. So the 161.8 level on the fib retracement, look, Fibonacci retracement. This actually didn't set. There it is. Is that the low? That's the low. Let's lock that in. And let's look at that. So we've already hit the 150. So if you're looking for some long-term, where are we headed? Our next big move for Apple, we're going to 162.94. I mean, that's it. That's it in a nutshell. I mean, the levels don't lie. You know, it may not happen overnight, but based on the Fibonacci retracement levels, we're heading to the 162.94 level for Apple. Yeah, we certainly are. So look, I'm kind of you know, getting pressed for time here. Let's do just some really quick. Let's just talk really quick about AMD. You know, a lot of this stuff, it's really gotten out of hand, I think. I like it. You know, I love the volatility. I love you can see I've already been, you know, charting AMD on the daily and stuff like that. May not have kept up with it all day, but, you know, just looking at stuff and whatnot. I took some plays today in SoFi. Absolutely love SoFi. Green there. Took some plays today in AMD, was green in these. And what else did I have? Oh, and I've got some puts on Ford overnight. But I'm just going to show you really quick today. This was AMD today, right? We already got this level. I'd already had these charted out. Purple for me is going to be intraday, like the 1 minutes. So you can see right here, I've got a resistance level that happens to double down as support again. So, you know, I'm doing this one after another. Got a support level here. You know, same thing. You know, you can see where it's resting on a lot of this stuff. So anyway, so long story short, I jumped in this trade right off of open at 8:33 Central Time this morning. And, you know, you might say, oh my God, you know, that's crazy. Why would you do that? I jumped in this trade roughly between these two candles. I was out of this trade on this candle. Why did I not continue to let it go up and go up and go up? Well, number one, the greed and the fear index got to me. Does this scream we're bullish, we're going up, you could have done all this? Yeah, it does. However, I'm also a realist, and I realized I'm in it right here. For me, the premiums today were sick. This move right here, this to this, was a $300 swing for me today in a matter of 3 minutes. That's how the premiums went today. Boom, 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 just like that. That was a $300 swing for me today. And I was fine with it. I was fine with it. Could I have made more? Yeah, absolutely. But guess what? This is August. It's a crappy month. I'm not taking any chances. We are already, I charted out the fib levels on this last night, and it was, we're already testing. I mean, look at this. We're at 115. We're at 115, 115. We're at 116. 116, we're heading up to uncharted territory now. I just wasn't comfortable staying in this trade much more, because when you saw this massive monster move it made, what happens? Boom, 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 boom. Tried to go up again, boom, back down. What's going on? You might say, oh my God, it's a bunch. Look, it's people taking profits, right? It's unhealthy for this stock to just go up and never come down. I mean, my God, even when GameStop went up, it came back down. You got a lot of people right now that are pissed off that they bought up here. Well, guess what? I'm not one of those people. Could I have made more? Absolutely. Took my profits, over, done with. And that's how I trade. I set a certain amount, that I'm content with. I wasn't using VWAP today, obviously tested VWAP, we're above it, and so forth, so forth. That might have just kept me in the trade even longer. I wasn't using it. I saw the action. I saw the price points. I said, I'm out. And as you see, the Bollinger Bands, skinny move, skinny move, skinny move. We crinkle, and I actually was fighting with it this morning. When it crinkled here, I couldn't get filled for that long. Honestly, I couldn't get filled. I was chasing premiums. That's how fast they were going up. Like, I wasn't just going to throw a random, dollar amount out there and say, hey, I'm going to fill me at $2 a contract, if these contracts are only worth, $1.20. But they were going so fast that when I would submit it, they were already up $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 more. That's how much volume. I mean, look at these candles. My God, 4 million, 1.4 million, 1.1 million, 1.5 million, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.8. I mean, this is crazy buying power. I couldn't get filled. I wasn't going to just chase the premiums. And when I got in, I got out. I knew it was going to run. I knew the premiums were going to be legit. I got in and got out. I did. I'm looking at my phone just to see a couple more. I entered the trade again around 10:32. I'm watching it. Let's see. Let's make sure. Yeah. So 11:32 Eastern, 10:32 our time. 10:31, 32 right here. So here we are. We're coming down. We're coming down. My thought process on all of this, 30, 31, 32, right there. I entered this trade at, let me see how long I stayed in this trade too. Oh, so I stayed in it for a little while. All right. I entered it as we were as we were breaking through VWAP, I got on it. Coming through VWAP, and what happens? We get caught in some sideways trading. Well, this is my deal right here, right? So I'm looking at this whole ordeal, like, okay, sideways trading. I'm trying to find the time. All right, an 11. Yeah, okay. And then what happens? Then we dip and we dip and we dip and we dip. Well, like I had told y'all, this isn't something you necessarily want to be in, if you're a trader and be like, oh my God, I'm upside down, so much money. Well, this is where not chasing came in handy on the options. When this sell-off started occurring, the premiums got so out of whack. And when I say so out of whack, literally me buying in at VWAP, sitting all the way down here, almost $1.50 less on premiums. I mean, on the overall stock price. This right here should probably be a $50 move easily. Well, these premiums ran up so high and so fast, they got so jacked up that this dip right here, this little dollar dip, the premiums were only down like $3 a contract. So I was barely upside down on this, and I wasn't about to stop out. I wasn't about to stop out of the trade. Now, would I have stopped out of the trade? Yeah, I would have said, 15%, I'm out. I'm not gonna, I'm not losing anymore. So something to that effect. But since the premiums were so out of whack, I wrote it out. And as you see, we got here. I had already popped a line. So all right, got a low. I wrote it back up. We bounced right off that line again. These intradays saved my butt, because when we bounced off this line and we come back up for VWAP, we came right back up. Let me find the time. I sold somewhere in this area. I don't know when it truly filled, but I got a $10 contract swing right here on another 15 contracts. Made another $150 right here, just in that little bit amount of time. I got a $10 contract. Let that sink in. Like, this is where I bought in. This is where I sold. That little bit, I got a $10 contract swing, but yet from here to here, I was only down like $3 to $4. Like, how is that possible? It was almost like the put side of stuff. I don't know. I don't even know how it was possible, all in all. But when I tell you the premiums ran up so fast here, I mean, you're talking $130, $135 calls that were bought off open for $10 a contract, ran up to $98 a contract. Like, that's unheard of. But when these dump so hard that everything through premiums completely out of whack. And as it sank lower, I don't know if it was just the pricing was built in an anticipation of another run up, but they didn't fall as fast as they ran up. That's effectively what I'm saying. So anyway, hope this video helped a little bit. I hope it you guys were able to utilize more of this. This is basically episode 2 of this is episode 2, but this is basically part 2 of episode 1, to utilizing the levels and charting it out intraday when you're trading on the 1 minute, because that's what you're looking at. You're not sitting here staring at a screen and saying, well, you know what, I'll check every candle out that forms on the hour. I mean, no, you're not. Nobody's really doing that. So anyway, hope everybody has a great night. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to the link. I'm going to put more up. I'm going to get into more stuff. It's not going to always just be, charting the basics and whatnot, but definitely hit the like button, subscribe, and if you don't already have it, click the link on the page. Get yourself a Webull Cash account. Sign up. It's there. Get yourself some free stocks. It's all, enjoy it. If you don't want to keep the stocks, get rid of them, sell them. It's money in your pocket, money in your trading account. So anyway, everybody have a good night, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.